All right, hello everybody. Welcome back. Sir Adrian back here to continue the Chinese turn in the fall winter 1914 in our current game of Global War 1914 titled Operation Michael. And actually, I made a slight mistake, which is my own fault, because we haven't been playing them so far, but I forgot that Japan is in the war at this point in time. So they should have gone after Russia. We're doing things a little bit out of order because Italy's moves aren't really affecting the Russians too much, at least for the time being. So they're just being lumped into the Ottoman turn, like the Ottomans are going and then the Italians. But technically, after Russia, it's supposed to be Italy and then Japan and then the USA and then China. So for this specific round, the Chinese turn's not going to affect anything Japan does, especially because Japan is allied in this case, and nothing the U.S. was doing this turn uh, would have affected Japan, and they go after Japan anyways. That doesn't matter. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and finish the Chinese turn. This cavalry was indeed. I was told to place it in Hopei by B Nasty, so there we have it, which makes more sense. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and finish the Chinese turn quick, and then we'll quick do the Japanese turn, and then move to the random events. So slightly out of order, but going forward, I won't forget them. But anyway, so we did the random event cards for the Chinese Warlord era. So now is any attacks if I want to do them, which I do. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 4 Nationalist infantry. Actually, 2 of those will stay behind. 2 mountain infantry. An artillery and a cavalry that'll be attacking from Hunan and Nanking. This is flat terrain in Shantung. The units coming from Nanking, they don't have to cross the river, so they're not affected. Same thing for these units traversing over. The river doesn't cut through, so no terrain effects. And we'll bring the artillery unit and the cavalry unit as well. So we're going to have 2 mountain infantry will be at 2. One of the infantry, actually no, both infantry will have those at 2 as well because it's flat terrain. The artillery will be first striking at a 4. Yep. Yeah, okay. And then the cavalry will boost that with the artillery to a 4 from an attack of 3. Okay, so we'll go ahead and roll the artillery's first strike first at a 4. Perfect. That's what we needed. So 1 infantry's wiped out. So then we'll do the 2 mountain infantry at actually, we could roll all these together because they'll all be at a 2. So the 2 mountain infantry, the 2 cavalry units, or infantry units, I mean, and then the nationalist cavalry, which will be at a 4. Damn it. Okay. So didn't get any more hits, so we'll go ahead and roll his infantry defending at f4. And that's a miss. So that's it for that battle. So we retreat. So we'll have the cavalry will retreat into Nanking along with the 2 infantry. And then we'll have these retreat into Hunan province. And in this case, we can assume he won't want to counterattack. At most, he would either have in this territory an infantry that would be at a 1, and the cavalry, which would be at a 2 against 2 at 3, 2 at 4, or 3 at 4 with a first strike. And even here in the city, these would be at a 5 actually, because they're in the city. So yeah, that attack wouldn't make much sense, so we won't even ask about that. But the warlords can. Okay, so common combat. Okay, so I do non-combat, and then the warlords would do their combat anyway. So yeah, non-combat. Think I think that's fine. I'm happy with the way everything is for now. Yeah, that's fine. So again, at this point, but then the warlords can do non-combat. So the way we'll handle that is at the beginning of the German turn, barring any changes due to random events, like these random events, the Germans could non-combat any of the warlords, and that doesn't have to just be ones that are attacked. So, for example, if you want to move up another infantry back into Shantung in a militia or something like that, he could. So we'll leave that up to the Germans, and again, any warlord for that matter. So this militia can move into Qinghai, etc. But we'll leave that to the Germans and be nasty to decide. Otherwise, oh, it's place units and collect income. I forgot we had 3, so we'll just buy regular infantry. Our income doesn't change, so we didn't gain any territories. So we just get to place our unit. We'll place an infantry. Actually, you know what? I think we'll actually save our IPP. So we'll have 6 for, yeah, we'll do that. We'll save. Okay, so that's it for China's turn. Apologies again that some of this is out of order. This is jumping for 1 second before we do the Japanese and then the random events back to the Americans. I forgot on the last turn, because of the random event, the Americans have to place these units that they got. So we'll place a militia in New Orleans. We will place a coastal artillery in Washington, D.C. And we will place a fortification in the Philippines. So there we have it. Now then, for the Japanese. So Japan doesn't start with any income. Just like the Italians, they also don't go far as I'm aware. It's just the major powers to wartime income when they do go to war. But we are declaring war against the German Empire, the Ottoman Empire, and the Austro-Hungarian Empire. So we are, well, we're already aligned to the British, but we're aligned to the French and the Russians as well. So we have one factory. We'll go ahead and, or major factory. We'll go ahead and try to get defense in depth started. That's a miss. So again, we can't buy anything. For attacks, yeah, we'll try. We want to try that. Yeah, why not? Actually, no attacks this round. We won't. Yeah, we won't do any attacks. Oh, and this British transport. I feel like I probably already moved that. Anyway, sorry, getting a bit distracted. Yeah, I think we won't try to do any attacks for now. We'll just do non-combat. So we'll move. We'll have this transport here. We'll move with or we'll move over one. Well, it'll pick up infantry unit in Tokyo. Move one. Actually, no, it'll move one up here. Yeah. It just can't move again once it drops off units. No, we'll just move over one. But we'll also pick up the units in Kyushu. Then we'll drop both those off in Korea. The cavalry in Korea will walk over into Primorsky Krai. And the regular infantry will walk over into Primorsky Krai. This coastal submarine, these two torpedo boat destroyers, this cruiser. The coastal sub can move one, but it's got the boost, so that'll move. P-42, 2. Actually, the coastal sub will try to cruiser raiders. Let's double check that. I know there's cruiser raiders. Enemy time of ships with a movement of 3. Yeah, so movement of 3. Okay, so that ship will in non-combat. We'll move it now because we said we would anyways. It'll move 1, 2 into P50 or this coastal sub. The torpedo boat destroyers and cruiser do have a combat value, and they each have a movement of 3. If I recall correctly, yes, and yes. That'll be a 3. That'll be a 1. Okay, so these 3 ships, they'll move 1, 2, and they'll try to attack this German cruiser raider. See if we could sink that. So I shouldn't have deleted all my dice. There we go. Okay, so the two torpedo boat destroyers have an attack of 1 because they're reduced down, and the cruiser will be at a 3 because it's normally at a 6. So you reduce everything by 3. We just have the 1 round. So no hits. And the cruiser raider defends on a 1. So no hits. So that battle's over, and then the cruiser raider gets to retreat 1 space away. I imagine it would probably want to stay on one of the lines it was raiding. It's probably worth the most, so maybe move 1 over from P50 into I-12. But if that's not the case, B Nasty could move it. He could move it to P41, P42. He can move it here or here. But we'll move it, as I said, to I-12 for now. But otherwise, that is it for the Japanese turn. So as I said, they didn't have anything to spend this time around. Oh, but they do have, just like the Americans, these units that they have to place. So we'll go ahead and do that. Place coastal artillery in Korea. Actually, I'll place that in Tokyo instead. Place a fortification in Korea. The militia will place in Kyushu. These 2 ships will move. Actually, no. That's okay like that for now. Yeah, so that's it for the Japanese. So they go ahead and collect their wartime income, which in Allied Japan is 6. There you have it. So that is it now. Again, some stuff a little bit out of order, but that's all right. It happens. So we're done with that, and we are now moving into the spring of 1915. So we'll go ahead and roll the random events and see what we get. So for the West, we got 3. So Atlantic submarines. So German submarines rate at +3 this turn, not cumulative with other modifiers. Advanced Britain 1 stage on convoy system technology. So German spies gain solid knowledge of Allied shipping patterns. So coastal subs will raid. See, like in that case, it says submarines, so I imagine they just mean submarines in general, not a specific one, but you do call the regular submarines just submarines. And then the other ones, coastal submarines, but yeah, anyway. So the submarines rate at +3 and the coastal subs at +3. And we'll go ahead and remove the damage markers. That's at the end of the turn. Those are actually probably shouldn't delete them all. Oops. There we go. Just leave one there. There we go. Yeah, so they rate at +3, and then Britain moves up. Did I say convoy system? Yeah, convoy system technology 1 stage. So the British will be at stage 3 convoy system, which is actually pretty good for us, but also for the Germans. Anyway, so let's go ahead and do the East, 1915. So 3. That's annoying. So the Niedermayer Hentig expeditions succeed. So German and Ottoman diplomats convince Afghanistan to join the Central Powers, so align Afghanistan to the Ottoman Empire. So Afghanistan is down here. So they have 2 mountain infantry. We'll grab our chip. Grab, oh, that's an Austrian. Ottoman mountain infantry. Afghanistan is not worth anything, but there is a manpower icon there. But they align, as it said, to the Ottoman Empire. So definitely quite interesting. So there we have it. So that's it for the random events. Now we can hand things on over to the Germans. Good luck to them.